time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shots of the Trucker John live stream, on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
There we are. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. For those of you where that applies, oh, let me shut the AC off. It is 9:10 here in the Pacific time zone in Las Vegas. And we are already at 96 degrees. Expected high of 112. So there you go. Right here in beautiful Las Vegas. And let me get over to the right screen over here real quick. And wish y'all a happy 4th of July. The birthday of America. So, to start things off though, I got this little video here, and this is what's going to start us off. Let's see here. This guy's really good. Whoop.
I need your undivided attention. The media is talking about Biden stepping down, but not Trump. A convicted felon versus Biden's track record of legislative success, such as the PAC Act that delivers care to millions of veterans and counting, an infrastructure law that put people back to work in good-paying union jobs, many of them veterans, COVID recovery, so among other things, we weren't busy burying bodies in mass graves. Trump owes how much to the state of New York? And you think that says I know how to run a successful economy? Trump cheated with a porn star while his wife was home with their newborn son. And you think that counts for character that can be trusted? Biden swore an oath, and not once has he come out with merchandise to sell. Trump swore an oath to himself, not to America. And now the Supreme Court says Trump can do anything he wants to do if he's reelected, as long as it falls under official duties. Do I have your attention now? On the 4th of July, we celebrate telling a king to get the fuck out of here. I feel like maybe we ought to relearn that. So yeah, Biden, in my opinion, shouldn't be stepping down. Trump should. I'm voting for a person that helps all Americans. I'm voting for Biden. I'm voting to tell another guy who thinks he should be our king to do what we told the last one to do. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. I couldn't have said it better myself. Could not have said it better myself. This is what I've been saying, right? You know, they're calling for, you know, the New York Times calling for Biden to step down. Fuck you. The convicted felon, rapist, traitor, that's the one you should be calling to step down. Anyhow, before I get into that, let's say hi to everybody. Roxanne Armfield looks like was first in the chat here, saying happy 4th of July to everybody. We got William here. Good to see William. Fancy, never fear, Fancy is here. Hello, Fancy. MJ Daniels here. Midas Kevin Anderson is in the driver's lounge. Let's see. We got Jolie. Good to see Jolie. Bonnie Thompson's here. Carrie C. Hello, Carrie C. Good to see Carrie C. Good to see Carrie C. Who else we got? Serena Monkey from across the pond. Oh, yes. It's the 5th of Whiskey, Brandy, and Heroin Day today. All right, then. All right, then. You go ahead and enjoy yourself, Serena Monkey. And get back to me on that. MJ Daniels says it's a shame that President Biden does not seem to be the type to take advantage of the gift the Supreme Court just handed him. I know I would. But I think that he should do something to at least test, just to call their bluff a little bit. You know. Paul Mannion's here. Hello, TJ and Truckers. Hope you're enjoying your 4th July celebrations. Yes, the day we celebrate that we broke away from good old England. Sonny Mikey says, Bonnie, I'm British. You are celebrating kicking us out of your country like Trump wants to kick out Americans. MJ Daniel says, I agree, MJ. Or Jolie says, I agree, MJ Daniel. You know the right will if they get back in office. Oh, yeah. the Republicans will not hesitate. So here's what I think they should do. Here's what Biden should do. Biden should say, okay, as an official act, I am kicking off of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Alito, Thomas, and Amy Coney Barrett. You guys are gone. You're dismissed. And replace every single one of them with good, Democrats. And just do it. And then for good measure, go ahead and expand the court to 13 and get, 4 more good, liberal Democratic justices. That's what I would do. Robin M is here. Hello from Ithaca, New York. Hot sunny day today. 248 birthday. Yep. Just think, two more years it'll be the big 250. Will be the big 250 in 2 years. I'm old enough to remember when the 200th was a big deal. So big 250 might be, somewhat of a big deal. Walter Makarovich is here, says, well, now Trump and Epstein and a 13-year-old aircraft knows where is the real fireworks. Okay? Might want to work on your structures, your sentence structures. Srinamunge, it's really like I forgot to be British Day. No, it's really, we don't want to have a king anymore. And now we have a whole party that is willing to stand behind a man that wants us to have a king again. Robin M says, got an email from John Fetterman saying the same thing basically. But fuck yeah. Everybody copies me. Even Fetterman. Big Hook's here. Says the news is supposed to report the news, not create the news. Yep. Just report the facts, ma'am. Or whatever. MJ Daniel says, got our AC jury rigged in the door from the garage. I think he meant jerry rigged. To the TV room with some foil insulation because it does not fit our windows and it is going to be in the 90s all week. I wish it was only going to be in the 90s all week here. Julie says, like, subscribe, and share. That's always good advice. Deborah Murphy's here. Hello, Deborah. Good to see Deborah. Hey, fancy gifted a Trucker John membership. Thank you so much. And Serena Monkey is the one who receives it from across the pond. Serena Monkey, it's not shocking we don't celebrate your 4th of July. No, it's not. It's not. I'm not shocked at all. Chris is here. Good to see Chris. Thanks for being here, joining us in the Truckers Lounge today. Deborah Murphy says Don Jr. is having an attack. Like a heart attack? What's for breakfast? There's a Jack in the Box right down the corner. So usually on these show days, I just run down to Jack in the Box. Today I just got the Supreme Croissant or whatever it's called. And, it is what it is. Serena Monkey says, stop Trump's state presidential pension that will bring it home to him. State presidential, he's a billionaire. Why should he give a fuck about a little pension? He's supposed to be a billionaire, right? Big Hook, jail all the billionaires for tax evasion, and if they flee, don't let them back into the country. as an official act, right? That could be one of Biden's official acts. Paul Mannion, what a disappointing few days for democracy lovers. You have to fight fire with fire. Trump needs to face the consequences of the law. I agree. William surrender also his health care. Like I said, he's supposedly a billionaire. None of that should even affect him. Now, of course, talk about calling bluffs. I guess we could call his bluff, but I don't think he really is a billionaire. I think he's broke as shit. Bonnie Thompson says Trump and his henchmen are discussing putting 5 more justices on SCOTUS. See, and they would do it. If Trump becomes president, he'll do it. That's why I'm saying, let's do this, Joe. Like I said, kick off the 6 dick shits. I call them dick shits. I don't know why. I just made that up. And replace them all with the Democrats. And then add 4 more on top of that. That's what I would do. That's what Trucker John would do. And oh yeah, by the way, I would just say mail-in voting is mandatory in all 50 states. Let's see what else we got here. MJ Daniel says, the USA fought a fucking war to keep from having a king or ruler, and we will do so again if we have to. I don't like my music. Oh, I mean, you don't like my music. Says, the best reason to vote for Biden and the Democrats is because he won't abuse his new executive immunity. But what is abuse? What is abuse? Is doing what I said, is that abusing power? Cleaning out the courts, justifying, the last 50 years of wrongs? Especially the last 20 years of wrongs. Getting Gorsuch in there and John Roberts. This John Roberts court is a fucking joke. It's a very unfunny joke. John Roberts, I hope he goes down in history as being the fucking evil fucking piece of shit that he is. We often kind of forget about John Roberts because he's kind of quiet and he kind of, he doesn't really, we're not seeing him in these crazy stories like, hanging a flag upside down or getting motorhomes from rich people. But this is his court and he's leading the way there, and so this should be known as, the Roberts Court as the court that led us down this path of losing our democracy. And I don't know. I don't think that's abuse of power or whatever. Just especially all these picks that we were denied. I'd get rid of Kavanaugh in a heartbeat. Amy Coney Barrett, you're gone. Gorsuch, you're gone. At least those 3, and then Alito and Thomas because they're corrupt as fuck. So that's 5. While you're at it, you might as well get rid of Roberts because he's a fucking idiot too. So I don't think that's abuse of power. I think that's just setting things straight, setting things right. Walter Makarovich says, I heard that the 13-year-old was a double for his daughter, which was 13 at the time. Oh, that's so disgusting. See, and this is the people that these God-fearing Christians are putting all of their fucking hopes and dreams into, I guess. Is this fucking rapist. Deborah Murphy says, no, Don Jr. is shocked someone would repeat that Biden should arrest Trump. Paul Mannion, my oldest brother played the bugle at the White House on the bicentennial in 1976. Well, there you go. Roxanne says, makes me shudder. Walter Makarovich. William, I wonder if Steve Bannon is enjoying his 4th in prison. Oh, yeah. Fun times. Robin M. says he became a billionaire as POTUS. Well, supposedly he was already a billionaire. Supposedly. Philly 3000, the Supreme Court already did perjury when they were under oath, saying that the president is not above the law, and that is what the DOJ is going after them. Yeah, they said that over and over again. And they lied too about Roe, about abortion. They're all a bunch of liars. They're just good for nothing liars. Sort of monkey. Steve Bannon is celebrating Independence Day incarcerated. Yes, we know. Chris says, I made an awesome fruit salad yesterday. Watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, strawberries, blueberries, red seedless grapes, and apples. Oh, and Struggle on a bowl. Thank you very much, Chris. Sounds delicious. Delicious. You don't like my music? As far as I know, the new immunity wouldn't allow Biden to purge SCOTUS. Why not? It's an official act. If they're saying that he can call SEAL Team 6 to go off somebody, I don't know why you can't purge the court. Say it's an official act because they just don't like them. Well, no, they're corrupt as fuck. I mean, we know. I think he could get away with at least getting rid of Alito and Thomas. I think we've got the goods on them of taking, way more than they should in any type of gifts and things of this nature. Which comes that decision that the court handed down the other day about, it's not receiving these gifts. That's not a bribe. That's a tip. See how they cover themselves? Just a disgusting court led by John Roberts. Really disgusting. Paul Mannion says he and his mate were stood by the door when all the big wigs walked in, and his mate said, "Who's that bloke?" My brother said, "That's President Ford." President Ford! Wow, so that your brother was there. That's pretty cool. Chris says, here you go, fancy. Hands for out the fruit salad. We're starting off with fruit salad. And who's in charge of the barbecue? Who's got the barbecue going? That's a little early. We'll get the barbecue going later on. We'll get some hot dogs and hamburgers out there. Big Hook says, Roberts gets his payoff via his wife. Oh, yes, who gets fees for getting the billionaire lawyers' cases before the Supreme Court. She gets a couple of million per year. Yep. There you go. There you go, right there. That's right, Big Hook. Midas Cummins says, let's see here. Midas Kevin Anderson says, Roberts is dumb. Even in January 6th hearing, he said, nothing wrong here. Is he dumb or is he playing dumb? Walter Makarovich says there has to be an FAA record of that flight. Manifest. Should be. Paul Mannion says he was in the Royal Green Jackets when he and his buddy got the job. They went over with the Navy. Cool. Straight Monkey, Biden could officially tell the probation office to drug test Trump every day and do a cavity search without consequence. Let's put this immunity thing to test. Let's test it out, man. You don't like my music? Says in Ireland, our fruit salad was bananas, grapes, apple, and whipped cream. Yummy. Chris says other judges won't even accept a cup of coffee from anyone. Yeah, it's just the stark differences are stark. It's just, I think one of them got in trouble because they got a case of oranges or something from somebody, or, you know, it's just, it's not even the same, right? You don't see any of the Democrats getting houses for their mother, you know, college educations for their nephew or whatever, really big fancy motorhomes, very, you know, lavish trips. You know, you don't see that. It's not even close. Not even close. Big Hook says the corruption is all in plain view. The court is now effectively a political arm of the Republican Party who are serving their billionaire masters and the corporations. Yeah, the Supreme Court is, they're bought and paid for. At least the 6 Republicans are, and they're bought and paid for by the oligarchs, and they have to do, they're beholden to them. So they need to be, you know, they're compromised. So I think Joe Biden would be completely justified in getting rid of them, because they're all tainted. I mean, they all deserve to go to prison as far as I'm concerned. So while you're at it, throw them in prison too. Jolie says, you don't like my music? That sounds good. No melons. I like melons. I like me some melons. That didn't sound right. Fancy says, fancy motorhomes. Yeah, fancy motorhomes. Swinner Monkey says, ew, in England, wham bars are fruit. I have no idea what a wham bar is. None whatsoever. What the fuck is a wham bar? Hey, Dana Darden's here. Morning all, and happy 4th. So what do you guys got? What's your guys' plans for the 4th? You gonna go to watch a fireworks show? Did you guys buy some fireworks? Are you gonna have a barbecue somewhere? Backyard barbecue? What you guys doing for the 4th? Because you know what? We need to still celebrate. And we still need to, you know, we can't let the right-wingers get us down. You know, don't play into them. Don't let them see us upset or whatever. You know, like, we still have a right to we still have a right to celebrate this country and show our love of country, right? Our love of the fact that 248 years ago we had people that were willing to put everything on the line to break away from England. I mean, it was a pretty gutsy thing. Regardless of, you know, we can say, well, you know, when they said all men are created equal, and they were talking about, you know, unalienable rights, they were basically talking about rich white guys. It took a while, you know, to get people of color on board and black people on board and women on board with it. But you know, for the times, there was really nothing like this going on anywhere in the world as far as breaking away and starting a democratic society. And to do this, they knew that they were signing their own kind of death warrants. I mean, that England was going to come after them, and they were putting their lives on the line, and they were putting, you know, whatever fortunes they had, whatever, you know, station in life they had, it was all they were all putting that all on the line. So to that, they should be given great credit, because if they hadn't done it, oh, Sir Namonkey, we might all be speaking with British accents right now, such as myself. So it's a day of celebration. Dana Darden, well, I'm awake, so that's my party. There you go. And it's a day of celebration, but it is a day, you know, we are reminded by MAGA by this Supreme Court that is bought and paid for by the oligarchs, we are reminded of how fragile it all is. And we've been able to maintain it for 248 years, and we've had some, hiccups, and we've had some black eyes along the way. Things, there's things we're not proud of, I think, right? Slavery and this our treatment of indigenous people, to just name a few or a couple, and but all in all, I think at the base of it we have the Constitution, and we have. I think there have always been people though that have been on the right side of things. I think we've always had like abolitionists, even during 1776. We've had people that were against slavery, and we've had people that were for equal rights and civil rights all the way along. They might have been few and far between at some points, but they've always been there, and they've kind of risen to the top as we've gotten more and more into this country's existence. So we need to be reminded, though, that it's kind of fragile in that we're seeing that I think we are very, very close to losing it all. If Trump gets reelected, then it's over. Or at least it's going to be, I shouldn't say it's over, but it's going to be a really, really time to take off the gloves, I guess, and just fucking go for it, Let's see here. MJ Daniel, pork fajitas for dinner. Oh, that sounds good. Fancy says, I'm making some Q, and I made a lemon cake. What is a Q? I don't know what a Q is. Minus Kevin, Bratwurst and picked Axel F for a movie. Oh, Axel F. Oh, that's the new one, right? The new Beverly Hills Cop movie. Sort of monkey. Well, if you hadn't fucking done the Independence Day thing, you would never know the joys of Wham bars. I still don't know what those are. Chris, I'll be locked in my house, keeping my fur babies sane. Fancy says, surrender now, I want to try Wham bars. You don't like my music? Haiti did it first. We see how that worked out for him. Jolie says, nothing. Fireworks here are on the 6th. It's raining here anyway. I'm coming down with something, so I'm just planning on naps. Well, that sucks that you're not feeling well. So, yeah, I hope you get better soon. Why are fireworks on the 6th? That doesn't make any sense to me. Fancy says, Chris, I turn up the TV loud and turn on the air conditioning and set them up a spot in the closet to go. They know the routine now. That's so funny. Poor puppies, poor doggies and kitties and stuff. Chris says, it started last night and my dog was trembling and panting and I couldn't hear her, couldn't get her to drink water, so I cut her a piece of watermelon. Sort of monkey, seriously, Google Wham bar. Barrett, make them. I'm good. I don't need your English pastries or whatever. Roxanne Armfield, the Heritage Foundation should be banned as a terroristic organization. MJ? Well, MJ is, but yeah, those fuckers, they should be. You don't like my music, sorry. Haiti was after the American Revolution, but it was the first slave rebellion. Oh. Yeah, I think I've read that. MJ Daniel says, many that signed the Declaration of Independence were either killed by the British or died poor because of it. Yeah. They put themselves out there, man. Surrender Monkey, I would literally die tomorrow if Ram bars were beer. Oh my God, Surrender Monkey with the Ram bars. MJ Daniel, and the GOP is spitting on the very idea the founders stood for. And the thing is that these so-called patriots, these maggots, that call themselves patriots, they are anything but. They're anti-patriots. If you ask me. MAGA are anti-patriots. In the West, You Know My Music says in the West, the Quakers were the first abolitionists. Chris says, Fancy, I couldn't get the TV loud enough. And she was up my ass, trembling and panting. My doors won't be opening today. I don't want my cats going outside and freaking. Fancy says, that's why I eat their delicious oats. Quaker oats. MJ Daniel, it would be a giant clusterfuck if Trump gets back in power. It would be more than a clusterfuck. I mean, it would really seriously be like Gilead. It would seriously turn into Gilead really quick. From Handmaid's Tale, in case you didn't catch my reference there. Roxanne says, Julie, I hope you get to feeling better. Bonnie says, if Trump gets elected, it's going to be a horror show. Yeah, I think it's going to be a horror show. I mean, I'm not saying we can't overcome it, that we don't have things in place, but that's why the whole, that Project 2025 and all that shit, they've got it all set up, man. They've got it all set up. All they need is for Trump to get reelected. Francis says he won't win, Bonnie. Bonnie says militias to enforce Trump's will. Swarnamaki, wouldn't the 6th be the closest weekend at Chuckajon? That may be, but I've never heard of anyone celebrating the 4th on the 6th. Fancy says, I need some watermelon today. I completely forgot. Watermelon? We need some watermelon. Chris says, take care, Jolie. My son came home early from work yesterday. Not feeling good. Shit's going around. Bhavani Thompson says, I feel like Trump won't win, but I can't see into the future. I feel like Biden's going to kick his ass again. But then I'm always reminded of 2016 because I thought for sure Hillary had it in the bag. I thought she had it in the bag, and there was no way, no fucking way that Trump was going to win. And he ended up winning. So, you just always have to remember that and not take things for granted. That's why we got to vote. Vote. There's a thing behind me that says vote. I don't know if you can see it. But anyhow, that says vote. We got to make sure we vote and that we vote for Biden. Roxanne Arfield says, we still outnumber them, don't forget. We outnumber them, but just don't fall. We need people not to fall for the old banana in the tailpipe trick. Speaking of Axel F. We got, there is the Ruskies. They have a thing called Operation Overload. And that's where they do what they did, what they always do, when they do all this psyops, they do all this fucking influence campaigns, and they with a little help of what's his face, Mannion or whatever, they were able to pinpoint locations and just hit it hard with disinformation, and it was just enough to get the votes they needed, where they needed in the swing states, swing areas, and they got those electoral college votes. That's the thing. It's the electoral college. So we have to overcome this Operation Overload and just try and get the facts out, however we can. Let's see. Chris says, Sir Muggy, yeah, the 6th is the closest weekend. This will go on for a while. MJ Daniel, here in the U.S., Wham means George Michael. Yep. Chris says, at Trucker John, I call them fake triots. That's a good one. Yeah, MAGA, they're fake triots. It's a little harder to say, but fake. If I practice it, And I work hard at it, and someday I'll be able to say it. Patriots. Deborah Murphy said, I had a long discussion with my sister today. I want to tell her that I want my daughters to have choices. There you go. Yes. William says Project 2025 wants to ban porn, which right there, that's a deal killer for me. Erection deniers. Roxanne Arfield, we were too complacent in 2016. In 2016, a bit complacent. And I don't know, maybe there's some complacency, but I really do put it on a lot of these voters that just listen to that disinformation. Sturdy Monkey says, they all that good. They have sour apple raspberry cola, and your teeth fall out. They are that sugary, and you can pretend you are British again. Wham bars are the tits. My goodness, Sturdy Monkey. Chris says, I plan on celebrating Independence Day on November 5th. There you go. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. We must all vote on November 5th. And preferably blue, if you know what I mean. Roxanne says, William, that's terrible. Oh, yeah, about banning porn. Yep. Dana Darden says, I remember being in D.C. for the July 4th, 1976 bicentennial. Did you happen to run into Paul Mannion's brother? He was playing bugle. I went with a school group. Amazing. Never imagined this could happen in the USA. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Where we are now. Yeah, and think about the bicentennial, and think about when we were younger, growing up, and to think, did you ever think we would be where we are now, where we are facing possibility that this country will no longer be a democracy. It won't even be a republic, like the right-wingers always want to say, we're a republic, not a democracy. Well, we won't even be a fucking republic. We will just be a fucking autocracy. Where Donald Trump will take over, and when he dies, I guess it'll be Don Jr., you know. It'll be one of those hierarchical things again. Did you ever think that that's what we would be looking at? Staring down the barrel of? I didn't. I mean, I know we've had some fucked up Republicans do some fucked up shit, but I never thought they were going to destroy democracy like this. You know, I just thought they were going to keep giving tax breaks to the rich and then fucking everybody else over. But I didn't think they were going to just like completely destroy democracy. But I guess maybe that was the logical next step. I don't know. Big Hook says, if you swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, and you pull the shit that the 6 conservatives did on SCOTUS, then you pretty much gave up your authority. Resign. They're not going to resign. That's why Biden needs to kick them out. With his new powers. Fancy says, they have the Wham bars on Amazon. I'm going to try them out. And Fancy, I expect a video. Because that way I don't have to order them. And if the video, if they look really good and you say they're really good, then maybe I will order them. But so I will be expecting a new video from Fancy. By the way, we need to get Fancy to 50. I haven't checked to see if there was a big Trucker John bump the other day. I think, what, you were up to like 29 or something like that? So let's get Fancy to 50. Serena Monkey says F Hawks and Trump fifth is the best. Because the oath applies to Congress and the Senate, so if you are guilty of attempting an insurrection, then you resign. No, you don't resign, you get thrown in fucking jail, in prison. This is the way I look at it. Fancy says we should throw a Zoom party when Biden wins. Yeah, I don't really like Zoom, but yeah, we could do that. That'd be cool. But I'm not really into Zoom. It's too chaotic. I can't handle all the chaos. It's like it seems like everyone's trying to talk all at once, and it's just weird. I've only done like one Zoom thing, and I didn't like it, so I left. It was one of those ones back. I think Andrew was doing it. It was last like a year ago or something, I guess. And I just couldn't hang. I just couldn't handle it. It was just too chaotic. Hugger Greeter's here. Hello, Hugger Greeter. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July to you. Suzanne Furiasepi is here. I dissent. Hello, Suzanne. Yes, I fear for democracy, so I dissent. Yep, absolutely. Bonnie Thompson is time. I rewatched V for Vendetta. Yeah. Donald Leary is here. Never would have thought. Yeah, never would have thought that we would be looking at this. I mean, we are on the brink. We are on the fucking brink of losing it, man. Of losing democracy. Roxanne says that is grounds for impeachment right there, Big Cook, Big Cook. It is grounds for impeachment. But the Republicans will never vote to impeach. So Biden needs to just say this is an official act. I am hereby relieving, the 6 of their duties. Hey, there's Joe Bloom. A fiefdom. Yes, a fiefdom. Going back to being a fiefdom. Good to see Joe Bloom, though. Hey, good seeing you. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button for me, if you would. Let's get the show out there. Suzanne, I knew it since Nixon. So you knew since Nixon that we would be here where we are now. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you give me some warning? Bonnie Thompson says, I'd rather have Ivanka as an evil queen with Jared as her consort. I didn't want to think about it. I really don't even want. I guess we should think about it because maybe that'll motivate us to make sure we vote. I mean, I don't think we have to do much motivation for me and for the people in this chat. I think we're all sort of chomping at the bit to get our votes in. But, man, we sure do need to make sure there's a big, huge turnout all across the country. And that everyone is informed to know what a complete and evil traitor that Donald Trump is. He's a traitor to this country. He's a traitor to the very foundations of this country. We need to get that message out. William says if Trump wins, we may as well change the name of the country to United States of Trump. We could call it Trumpalonian or something. I don't know. Fancy will do, John. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna expect a video with the wham bar and a review. Serena Monkey says at least Guy Fawkes was religious. Trump is not, but deserves worse. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm really for this whole Guy Fawkes thing. Fancy's at 28. I misspoke. So let's get those subscriptions up for Fancy. Fancy needs 50. Joe Bloom says this SCOTUS would have been Nixon's wet dream. Oh, yeah. And this is what they've been working on through all these past decades. This is what they've been working on it diligently, biding their time, and here we are. And that's why people like me and people like you, I'm sure, we've been telling people that elections have consequences. Voting matters, and elections have consequences. And I'm sure you, as well as me, we've been saying that it's not just about, you know, I don't know, having a Democrat in the White House as opposed to a Republican, but it's about Supreme Court picks. We've always been bringing that up. At least I have. And now we're seeing Mitch McConnell was able to get at least three right picks that he should not have been able to get through. That should have been Democratic picks. And so now we're seeing this the fruition of decades of work by the Republican scumbags. So, we're like I said, we can't give up hope. We gotta vote. We gotta show up on November 5th. Jolie's got the link to Fancy's channel. Go on over there and hit that subscribe button, and let's get Fancy to 50. Suzanne 47 says the 6 need to be deported. They certainly need to be removed from the court. And I think, why not sent to prison? I think Thomas, well, like I said, they have these court decisions now. It's like, it's not accepting bribes, it's a tip. So, you know, but yeah, they definitely need to be at least removed from the court. Donald Larry says, Roxanne Unferfield, hello, how long has TJ been on? I've been on for 53 minutes. So you can ask me. You don't have to ask Roxanne. You can ask me, I guess. Hugger Greeter says, happy 4th of July to everyone. Hope you all have a nice 4th. Thank you, Hugger Greeter, and same to you. Serena Monkey says that Fancy, the raspberry ones are original and the best, but all will make your teeth fall out. And that's a sign of a good sweet dessert, or sweet whatever that thing is. Big Hook says, did you ever get a USB battery power pack to recharge your phone? I did not. Big Hook, I have not. But thanks for reminding me, because the next time I do some sort of remote type of a thing, I need to get one. If Trump comes back to do another rally, which I think he probably will between now and November, he probably will do another rally here, I would imagine. I would like to go and do that again. So I have to get one of those USB battery power packs, because I had troubles out there with the battery. And hopefully when he does come back, if he does come back, hopefully it'll be in the fall, closer to the election, and hopefully it'll be cooler maybe. Because I was having problems with the phone heating up, and that's why I was going live, and it kept dying. It kept shutting off because the phone was getting too hot. Suzanne, I didn't know you. I didn't know you. No, you did not. Roxanne says about 53 minutes ago. Well, now it's been 55 minutes. Suzanne says President Ford was spineless. He had one job, and he did his job. His one job was to pardon fucking Nixon. That was his one and only job. And he did it. Fancy says they're all traitors. Yes, those 6 are all traitors for sure. Fancy's using those emojis. I got emojis. Bonnie Thomas says, I had to talk my daughter down yesterday. She was kind of freaking out about the Biden must step down junk in New York Times. Yeah, and like I've said all along, why are we not seeing the outcry for Trump to step down? I mean, as soon as he got convicted of those 34 felonies, that should have been day one. Trump needs to step down. He's a convicted fucking felon. And actually, as soon as he lost the case against E. Jean Carroll, the cry should have been going out from the mainstream media and the New York Times. Hey, this guy is a fucking adjudicated rapist. He needs to step down. Why weren't they doing that? I mean, I could see an argument for Biden, especially the way he looked on that debate. I can understand, because look, I didn't think he looked great. I wasn't calling for him to step down. I think he just had a bad day. And then the next morning we saw the old Joe back. But if you're going to make an argument that Biden should step down, you should equally be making an argument that Trump needs to step down. Because he is an adjudicated rapist. He's a 34-time felon here, with more coming on the way. So the New York Times needs to make just as a loud of cry for that. And that's what that opening video I played was all about too. Roxanne Arfield, I have to get a cherry pie in the oven pretty soon. I like cherry pie. Fancy, cherry pie. Pie doesn't pie. You really got us with the pie, Roxanne. Now we all want pie. Paul Mannion, what's to stop Joe arresting Trump? I don't know. We've been talking about that. About he's got these official duties he can do now, and be immune to it. But there is one thing, because I'm like, okay, so you could be immune. That means that you wouldn't be held responsible. You're not going to be held criminally responsible for anything that you do. But that doesn't mean that you can just do anything. I mean, if we want to be realistic here for a minute, let's be realistic. I know we all have our dream scenarios of Biden doing all these things, but there still are laws, and there are still the Constitution. So, I mean, it seems like if Biden wanted to arrest Trump, have him arrested, I still think you need probable cause, or you still need to have, something there, right? I mean, you can say, but he's already being, indicted for a lot of things. So I don't know. I'm still confused on how this immunity thing works. Because just because you say that someone's immune, that just means they can't be punished for it. But that doesn't mean they can do it. Where's the mechanism to do it? Where's the mechanism for a president to order an assassination on someone? And even if we do go after, let's say, terrorist leaders, we had the Patriot Act that kind of made all that kind of stuff legal for the president to say, okay, we need to take out this guy here, this Al-Qaeda leader or whatever. And that's all covered by the Patriot Act. But for a president to go, I need you to take out Donald Trump, I don't know if that's covered under the Patriot Act. I mean, there has to be some sort of thing, I would think, that justifies the action. And then, so I don't know. I'm still confused on it, actually. I don't think it is quite as sweeping as we might think. Roxanne says, the New York Times can go to hell, at least the editorial board. Serena Mecca says, Trump liked his own companies. Trump killed his own companies. He's close to bankrupting companies that he doesn't own. His own sister had to step down as judge because of Judicial Review. Trump is Putin's rice in an umbrella. Okay. All right, enough of you. Enough from you. Robin says, removed for committing perjury. They lied about Roe and lied about immunity. Well, I've already talked about getting rid of them. For those reasons. Barney Thompson says, Paul Mannion, we're hoping the cheeseburgers get him soon. I hope they get here soon. William says, Roxanne, all corporate media is a joke. Donald Leary, Trucker John, find your fanny pack. I know, I have a fanny pack. somewhere. That would have come in handy. It's a nice one too. It's black. It's like leather. It's a really nice one. I know I have it. I thought I saw it when I moved in here. It's somewhere in a box. I'm looking around. Where's my fanny pack? But yeah, I need to find that. Let's see. Big Hook says, so let's see. I just said let's see. Bush brought up Medicare Advantage, which refuses to pay for services, and red states refuse money, so all small local hospitals are shutting down. Republicans really only care about you. Yeah. I never said that Republicans care about it. Bonnie Thompson says, Roxanne, I left a couple of comments on their threads telling them to F off. There you go. That's good. More people should do that. Contact these outlets and tell them that they're full of shit. Suzanne Furry-Seppi says, carry an ice pack wrapped in a dishcloth to keep your phone cool. Yeah, that's what I need, just carry more shit around. But yeah, it's a good idea. I was trying to think of like what I could do to keep the phone cool. But if I had a fanny pack, if I had my fanny pack, I could probably keep the ice pack in the fanny pack, and then when I need to cool the camera, I could hold it in front of the camera. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Let's see. William Fancy, they're interested in ratings, and that's it. Which is a shame. It shouldn't be that way. News should not be about ratings. It should be about reporting the news. Let's see here. Sweater Mikey says about the cheeseburger tangled in his okay, I'm not reading this. Not reading that. Fancy says that's it. I only watch natural disasters. Hey, Janelle Walker's here. Good to see Janelle. Thanks for stopping by the old driver's lounge. And happy 4th back to you. Back at you. Like I've said, don't give in to the bastards. It's our day too. It's our day to celebrate the birth of this country too. And even though we've had a lot of shit go down lately, don't let them wear us down to the point that we don't want to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the birth of this great nation. And we're going to celebrate by committing ourselves to voting for oh my God, I almost said the wrong thing. Voting for Democrats and getting the Republicans out of their out of power. This is a day that we don't let them get us so depressed that we're not going to celebrate. And you don't have to light off fireworks to celebrate. I mean, you can do whatever it is that you do. Whether it's just staying at home and keeping your pets safe, but, that's fine. Whatever you guys do, go watch fireworks, go have a barbecue with your family, I'm not doing anything today. My family, we're all like, everyone's kind of broke, and we're all like, hey, let's plan something else. So we all decided to, because I'm working, I'll be doing Uber today. I think my daughter's working, my ex is working, everyone's working, I think. So we're not celebrating in the traditional sense, but I am still celebrating. Just doing the show is like a celebration for me. Putting on my little shirt that has some red, white, and blue on it. See there? This is me celebrating. But you can celebrate in your own way, and just by getting together and wishing people a happy 4th. That's can sometimes be all you need. Suzanne Furry-Seppi says, I'm making ravioli and Italian-style veggies for dinner. That sounds delicious. Paul Mannion, hi Bonnie, there must be something that sticks on Crump, but I don't think you should panic about Joe. Keith Polite is here. Hello, Keith. Thanks for joining us here in the Truckers Lounge. Keith says, Biden won the debate for those watching on Univision, and listen to translators, they heard what Joe said, not how he said it. Yeah, that is a good point. And I know Hal has brought that up. And there are, articles about that. And that is kind of amazing how we are so affected by that presentation that we don't hear the actual substance of what Joe was saying. Because I got to admit, when I was watching the debate, I was just like, oh my God, this is not good, this is horrible. But yeah, if you just listen to like a transcript, or if you're listening to translators, you don't hear that. You don't hear the way that he was talking and everything, and you just hear what he said. So keep that in mind. I mean, Trump was just a big loud liar, and maybe that came across as being that he was more together or more competent or something. But just remember, everything he said was a fucking lie. And then you had Biden, who was mumbling and stumbling and, getting some of the numbers wrong, but then he corrected himself usually. But, he trailing off, trying to get things in before the timer went off and all that kind of stuff. And, but if you listen to what he said, I mean, he was truthful and said some important things. And that's what we got to do, is listen to what he said, not how he said it. Because, like I said, the other guy, the former guy or whatever, he was loud and blustery, but it was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. Fancy says, what's a good 4th of July movie to watch? Born on 4th of July with Tom Cruise, maybe? I don't know. Swin Monkey says, Suzanne, by Italian-style vegetables, do you mean meatballs? Oh, that was Serena Monkey. I didn't use my thing there. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats, and you can also support the show by liking, subscribing, sharing, or buy me a coffee. Thank you, Jolie, for that reminder. Those are great ways all to help support the show, help us to grow, and keep going, keep the show going. So thank you guys all for your support, everyone who's supported the show. It wouldn't be possible without you guys, that's for sure. I think I might be coming down with a little bit of a cold. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm hearing it just now. I mean, I think I seem a little a little stopped up there. So that sucks. I hate getting cold. Suzanne said, thanks for all the greetings, everyone. You are welcome. Suzanne, for example, says, Surinamaki Italian-style veggies like zucchini, squash, and green beans. Janelle Walker, happy 4th, says. Fancy says, hey, John, have you ever went to Napoli Pizza in Vegas? They have giant pizza. I have never gone there. Paul Mannion, it's election day today. Looks like the Tories are going to have a bad day. All righty then. Fancy is asking the same thing I was just thinking. What are the Tories? Now I know it's like a political party, political party over there in England. Are they the Conservatives? I'm wondering. Donald Leary says, happy 4th of July, y'all. Seha's here. Hey, Seha. Good to see Seha. Says, fill a refrigerator box with acetylene and oxygen and get a big-ass fuse. Okay, Seha, you and your radical ideas. Big Hook says, if you were broken down on the side of the road, would Trump or Biden stop to help? Pretty sure Biden would. Yeah, that's the kind of guy he is. That's just the kind of guy he is. Fancy says he shouldn't have agreed to that shit show of a debate. You're talking about Biden shouldn't have agreed to it? Well, in hindsight, yeah, but hey, look, I was looking forward to it. I think a lot of us were looking forward to it. We thought that Biden was just going to go in there and kick ass. That's why it was a shock to see him, like, you know, the way he walked out. From the very second I saw him walk to the podium, I was just like, oh shit. That was not a good look, right from the very get-go. Street Monkey says, we still do the 5th of November thing from 1606. Did you also know Donald hasn't been a popular name even when his own mother decided Donald will do? I did not know any of that. Dinner Darton says, y'all have me all fired up. I put on my face, gonna put on my Nope, Not Again Trump shirt, and gonna walk my dog. Alrighty. Good choice of shirt. Just be careful. I don't know how crazy people are around you, but careful out there. Say How says, Hacksaw Ridge, born on the 4th of July. Hey, I mentioned born on the 4th of July. Fancy says, you go, Dana. Big Hook says, CNN were complicit because they never fact-checked, nor did they make Trump actually answer questions or make note that Trump didn't answer the question. Well, in all fairness, I do believe that Jake Tapper did say at least once, or maybe twice, when he said to Trump, you haven't answered the question. I did hear him say, you haven't answered the question. At least he did say that. Now, I'm not saying that Jake Tapper did a great job or Dana Bash. There are almost every time I was kind of yelling at the TV, push back on that bullshit. Push back a little bit. Don't let him just get away with saying this bullshit. That's what I was pissed off about. Paul Mannion says, how can someone who lies about everything against Joe who told the truth lose the argument? The world has gone mad. It's all about the optics. It came down to optics. That's all people see. That's all people. And I know I'm talking about every one of us. I know us in the chat, we're different. We're way cooler. But the masses, the general audience or whatever, they don't hear what's coming out of their mouths if they're seeing shit that looks crazy. Fancy says, I've never seen Hacksaw Ridge. It is, I believe, a Vietnam story, right? Keith Lee says, are you familiar with the debate technique Gishka? I am now. It's a rapid series of spacious arguments, misrepresentations, and outright lies, and it makes it impossible for the opponent to refute them all. Yeah, it's when they just overload, and just give a whole, they just spew out a whole bunch of bullshit. That's why, and I was saying this during the debate. I was saying, Joe, just pick one thing. Just pick one thing. You can't try to address the whole thing. You can't. You've only got, sometimes, the format was kind of weird because sometimes they would say you have 2 minutes and then sometimes they would say you have 90 seconds or whatever. But you have a limited amount of time. So don't take the bait. That's what they want you to get flustered. They want you to think, how do I answer that, or whatever. And you can't. You just got to pick one thing, maybe two things, and you just address those. And when your time's up, your time's up. And if you don't get it all out, you don't get it all out. But you can't let yourself get flustered. Because you're going to have other times where you can talk during that debate. The thing went on for almost 2 hours. I mean, so you can't let the Gish Gallop thing sidetrack you like that. And really, I would have just ignored everything Biden that Trump said if I was Biden. I would have just been on my own little thing. I'm going to answer my questions. I'm going to get my points out. And I'm not even going to address anything that this lying sack of shit next to me is saying. I'm just going to say, the things that I need to get out. He should not even responded to Trump, in my opinion. He should have just used his time to get his points out, his points across. Hey, Edjo47's here. Good to see Edjo. It says, Tories are the Labor Party, but conservative don't get that movie, Glory. Oh, Glory, that was another Civil War movie. That was a really great movie. Midas Kevin says, waiting for family, Don. Alvin Stube, happy birthday, America. Hey, Alvin Stube, good to see you. Yes, happy birthday, America. Absolutely. A day of celebration. Don O'Leary says, didn't Jake have on General Kelly about suckers and losers? He should have pushed back big time. Yes. And because someone, I think even Hal said something like there was an agreement by the CNN wouldn't do any fact checking like during the show. But I contend that the moderator's job is to moderate and to make sure that the candidates are sticking to the issues. So I don't think it would be fact checking to say, you know, hey, that doesn't address the question. Are you going to answer the question? Which he did say that a couple times, but he should have done it more. Or to just say, if there was a blatant thing that you don't, because fact checking to me is like you get on the Google or whatever and you get in there and you fact check. But if there's a blatant lie that you know, and Jake Tapper should know, and Dana Bash should know, because they're reporters and they're in this shit all the time. They should know if there's a blatant lie. If Donald Trump tells a blatant fucking lie, they should be able to go, no, that is not true. We all know that is not true. What you just said, what you just said, is factually not correct. Would you like to correct yourself now? They should have been saying stuff like that, because that's not fact checking. That's just calling them out on the bullshit. So don't confuse it. Don't confuse fact checking with calling out someone for their bullshit. Don O'Leary says, oh, yeah, I read that one. Seha says, Hacksaw Ridge is about a non-combatant who won the Medal of Honor combat medic who refused to carry a weapon. Oh, that was Hacksaw Ridge. And I think that was like World War II or something. That was with Andrew, what's his face, the Spider-Man guy? That was a very good movie, yeah. That was also very good. Let's see, so what movie was I thinking of? I think I was thinking of Hamburger Hill or something like that. But yeah, Hacksaw Ridge was good. Serena Mug says, it's not all about optics, TJ. Words could paint a picture like Trump's hairy cheeseburger thing. Oh, okay, whatever. Hey, Tim Nelson's here. Good to see Tim Nelson, one of our Tims. Good morning to you, and happy 4th of July. Let's see here. Big Hook says, here is where the problems occur. If you are stating facts, Republicans try to talk over you. You state the problem, they go to a whataboutism. If you catch them in a lie, they deflect. Sociopaths. Donald Trump is definitely a sociopath, in my opinion. Fancy says, there should have been a loud buzzer for every lie. Yeah, that would have been nice. When Trump was speaking, it would have been just like, beep, 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 beep. Paul Mannion says, the conservatives are the Tory party. The Labour Party is just that. So I was right when I said they're conservatives, right? Keith Police says, my favorite 4th of July movie, Yankee Doodle Dandy with James Cagney from 1942. I think that might have been the year that Biden was born. Darkly Yours, happy 4th, TJ and the pit crew. Hey, Darkly Yours, good to see you. Thanks for being here. And a happy 4th back at you. Fancy says, oh, Keith, that's a goodie. Yankee Doodle Dandy. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Midas Kevin says, hey, copper. No. Yeah, didn't you call people suckers and losers, Trump? No, you see, I never said that. But hey, just call him out for the lie. Call him out for the lie. You know? Andrew Garfield. Yeah, this is Midas Kevin. I said Andrew. I got the Andrew part right, and I got the Spider-Man part right? Roxanne says, Darkly Yours, good morning. Serena Monkey, so he got away with it this time. Maybe they are waiting for the next one with Trump feeling secure, wallowing in the diatribe, and then comes the check. Yes, we've got him right where we want him. Feeling all confident and full of himself. It's right where we want him. It's all part of Joe Biden's plan. He was like, I'm going to go out there tonight and look like and sound like shit. Everyone's going to think I'm just old demented Joe. And I'm going to set them up. Oh boy, I can't wait. I got him right where I want him. I didn't know why I gave Joe Biden an English accent, but as we all know, in secret, Joe really is English. Big Hook says they let the abortion up to 9 months and after birth killing the baby slide without calling it a lie. Tapper and Bash should be ashamed. Edjo 47 the important thing when they gish gallop, you cannot fact check all the info. I love Biden's laugh and smirk when Trump does that, and needed to do a lot more often on split screen. Yeah, like I said, yeah, you can't do that. So just pick one. Probably the last one, like before it was your turn. Like, just pick that and you go, no, that's not true, and just address that. And if you got time to do one more, do one more. But if he's going to put out, 10 lies in his 2-minute segment there, you're not going to be able to address all that. So the first thing you can just say, well, first of all, everything you just said was a lie, or not true, or whatever, and then just start with just one of them. You can't do all of them. So don't get flustered and frustrated, because that makes you look even worse. You just pick one thing and address it. Sehel says Saving Private Ryan, Fury, a little heavy but good movies. I love Saving Private Ryan. I love that movie. I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time. I like Fury. That's the Brad Pitt one, right? With the tanks. That was a good movie. Although I did think that Brad Pitt, he was trying to do like a southern accent, and it seemed like for the first part of the movie, he didn't have it down, and the last part of the movie, he kind of got it down. It was kind of weird. Anyhow, Ed just says, sorry, not sure what a Tory was. Roxanne says, especially for that Big Hook. Paul Mannion, great actor. Jimmy Cagney, when he came over to England in the early 80s, he was overwhelmed by the crowds that came to see him. Genuinely a very emotional moment. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy. A great little tap dancer. Chris says, Trump just throws as much male bovine excrement at the wall to see what sticks. Yeah, that's all he does. It's just the bullshit just spews out of his mouth, out of the man's mouth. Sprinter Monkey says he didn't answer the kicking people out question, but also said that General lied about the cemetery thing, and I fired him because he made a fool of me. Roxanne says, good morning, Edjo47. Big Hook. Mehdi Hassan. How to Win Arguments book has a lot of good advice. Might check that out. Darkly Yours says, I'm pretty sure all my international friends watched the debate just so they could call and mock me. Well, if they're mocking you, just say, what did Joe say that was wrong? What did he say that was a lie? And if they tell you something, well, he said billion instead of trillion or whatever, and then you can say, well, he corrected himself because he corrected himself, or if he wasn't able to correct himself, it's because time ran out or whatever. But he was having some troubles getting the right increments out. But that can come back to his stutter and to feeling the constraints of the time limits of responding. Hey, Jeannie's here. Hello, Jeannie. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July to you. Keith Elite, great post at Paul Mannion. Thanks. Let's see. Midas Kevin Anderson says, whatever, Trump is the fool. Yeah, Trump is garbage. There's just no other way to say it. Trump is just total garbage. And all these maggots, they need to be really ashamed of themselves. But I guess they're shameless. But they should feel ashamed of themselves for backing a person of Trump's quality, which he has no quality. I mean, he's a total he has no redeemable qualities. And we all know he's a fucking felon now. We know he's a fucking rapist and sexual assaulter. We know all that shit. And yet they still continue to back him and worship him. And, they can't, and I experienced it firsthand. They cannot stand to hear any criticism of him. People were literally, when I was at the rally, were literally like getting in my face and this one lady was like, I thought she was either gonna like scratch my eyes out or start crying. I mean, it was like they cannot take any criticism against Trump because to them Trump is perfect. They really do think that he is perfect. And it's weird and it's sick and it's disgusting because they're brainwashed. They've become brainwashed. I guess that's what brainwashing looks like. Just total devotion to a really sick person, a really like thoroughly disgusting human being, and they are totally devoted to him because they're brainwashed. That's what brainwashing looks like. You want to see what brainwashing looks like? Go to a Trump rally and look at the fucking maggots. And you will see firsthand what brainwashing looks like. It is weird. It's very strange, to say the least. Let's see. Paul Mannion says, Attack was a great war film. Jack Palance was the star. Sahia says, for you uneducated Republicans, watch the preamble or No More King, Schoolhouse Rock. Roxanne Arfield says, good suggestion at Seha. Keith Polite says, Joe could have said that was a string of lines, or lies, I guess, and I'll leave it to you moderators to fact check you. Here is what the American public needs to know. Yeah, I know. In hindsight, there's lots of stuff Joe could have said, and I'm hoping in the next debate, he would have learned all the things that he needs to do. And I hope he fires his fucking prep team because they were stupid. They had him so coached, like, make sure you say this, make sure you that, to do that. I think Joe needs to kind of wing it a little bit. I mean, he should just be burning up on all the facts, all the figures, all the numbers, so that when Trump says some lie, that he can go, oh no, that's not true. It's actually this number, it's actually that number. He should just know the facts, but not have this thing where they're trying to get Biden in a position so that he can get a zinger out. The zinger about the only felon up here is the guy sitting next to me. I mean, they were obviously trying to get something like that out, and it's to me it just came out kind of like forced. You know what I mean? So I think just be loaded and armed with the facts. And don't worry about the zingers. If a zinger's going to come, it's going to come. It should just come. I think it should just be sort of organic. You know what I mean? don't try to set your whole debate up on trying to get one or two of these little zingers out. That was kind of stupid. Just be loaded up with the facts so that when Trump lies, because you know he's going to lie every single fucking second, then you can just go, oh no, that's not true. Here's the real number. This is the real thing, you know, and you just lay out your case. And you do it calmly, and you do it like a person who's been in government for 50 years. And Joe Biden, to me, looked like he was a rookie or something. And I don't want to join in on the bashers of Biden. It sounds like I'm doing that, but because I support Joe Biden, and but we're just talking about his debate performance a little bit. And yeah, I think he fucked up, but he didn't lie. Like I said, Trump was he was the louder of the two, had the louder voice, but he was the liar. Just because he's loud doesn't mean he's not lying. And so hopefully for the next debate, you know, we'll see the Joe Biden of that North Carolina speech, or we'll see the Joe Biden of the State of the Union or whatever. You know, we won't see what we saw last week. It was a week ago today, right? Swinemaker says, the MAGA base are historically dispossessed voters. They are the people who have felt the normal politicians are not racist enough. Don't think like they think until Trump came along. Yeah, but they sure brought a lot of people with them to jump on with them that aren't these historically dispossessed. Keith Lee, let Joe be Joe. Yeah, let Joe be Joe. Edjo 487 says computer simulations show Biden wins around 80% of the popular vote. 5,000 plus simulations even now. Electoral College has to go. Yeah, the Electoral College is what's really fucked up. And now a couple shows ago, you guys were talking about David Feldman. And I do watch David Feldman from time to time. I think he's really good. And I was watching one of his last shows, and he showed the map that he's got and how he thinks it's going to shake out. And he's got Biden winning the Electoral College, but by 2 points, like 270 to 268. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, that's way too fucking close. But as long as Biden wins, that's all that matters. But still, it's kind of scary, you know. Surrender Monkey says, P.S. Thanks to whomever gifted me the channel. Oh, that was Fancy, I believe, Surrender Monkey. That was Fancy. So you better make sure that you go over there and give Fancy a subscription. If you haven't already. We need to get Fancy to 50. Fancy to 50, please. Go over there and sub. Robin M says, I think he needs to exhibit passion. His disgust with the devil is just as important as stating facts. You need that Biden needs to exhibit passion? Tony TB is here, says, Murica. Hi, John and everybody. Hey there, Tony TB. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping into the old driver's lounge here as we shoot the shit here on this birthday for America. For America. Bonnie Tom says, Biden's campaign needs to schedule no appears the day before. Oh, no, like appearances the day before and the day of the next debate. Yeah, make sure he's rested up, right? Fancy says, hi, Tony TB, or hi, happy 4th. Paul Mannion. The fact is that what Trump got just convicted of was before he was president. Clearly guilty, so why should they give him a break? I really don't get it. I don't think they're going to give him a break on that. But, I mean, they did put the sentencing off, I guess, but I think he's still going to answer to that. Fancy says Biden needs to relax. Yeah, he should be relaxed. He has been in the Senate, and he was a vice president, now he's president. this isn't like this is his first rodeo. He should be way more relaxed. Minus Kevin Anderson says, I fumed when Trump said, look whose son died. Did he say that? I don't remember that. MJ Daniel says, next time Joe Biden needs to be all about what the fuck is wrong with this guy, then just point out what he has done as president. Yeah, I think, like if, for the Gish Gallop thing, if you're gonna try to address that, you just pick like one or two things. You can't do the whole thing, and then also like you said, I think he needs to just stick to what his accomplishments. I can't talk. Accomplishments. Why was that a hard word? Accomplishments are, and what he's done with the economy, and with student loans and student debt, and with with all the things he's done with costs for like insulin and all that stuff. Just hammer all that shit home. Hammer it home. Jolie says he did say that map was worst case scenario. Yes, you're right, Jolie. Biden still wins. Yeah, so even in a worst case scenario, Biden still won by those 2 points. So yeah, it's a good point, Jolie. Michael McAndrews, happy 4th of July to you all. Hey, Michael McAndrews, good to see you. Happy 4th back at you. Back at you. And double. And double it. Let's see. Fancy says he should put on his dark shades, grab a milkshake, and walk on stage. Yeah, that would be cool. Fancy says there is a link up that there. Scroll up, Jolie. I don't know how to do it right. Yeah, there's a link. If you scroll on up, it should. Hopefully, it's still on there because sometimes I know you can't scroll like all the way back. But maybe as we get towards the end of the show, Jolie can repost that or something. But yeah, we need to get Fancy to 50. Michael McAndrews, he didn't bring the blow-up shark with him on stage like I recommended. Yeah, that would have been funny. Big Hook. So the latest revelation on RFK should have ended his appeal. RFK is going to be a non-factor, like I said. And whatever votes he gets, those are Trump. He's taking away from Trump votes more than he is Biden. So I'm not really even worried about RFK. Tim Nelson says, a quote from the Heritage Foundation president, bend the knee to the Donald or there will be a bloodbath. Is that a real quote or is that sarcasm? Fancy says that would have rattled him. The shark thing? Robert Perez is here. Says, howdy to all, but hello to my fellow Democratic voters. A hearty happy 4th. Have a great day and don't sweat the weather. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and happy 4th back at you. Hope you're having a good day on America's birthday. Keith Polite says, going to spend some time today listening to America's songs, including Jimi Hendrix's version of the national anthem and Prince's America. Chat room suggestions. Okay, yeah, get those suggestions in. Hey, Jolie, put the link again for Fancy. Thank you, Jolie. That is Fancy's YouTube channel. Go on there and give Fancy a subscription. Give him your subscribe button thingy. And see if we can get Fancy to 50. Certain Bucky says, please post again. Jolie is lost. Well, yeah, there it is, right there. It's right there. Midas Kevin Anderson says, Trucker John, he did in the debate talking about Bo. He slammed Biden saying, at least my son isn't dead. Biden scowled at him. Wow. I don't even remember that. I must have missed it somehow. But that is a fucking... I mean, just that alone, people should be screaming bloody murder. Should be screaming for Trump to step down. You don't say shit like that about someone's son who died. That is disgusting. What a disgusting fucking piece of shit Donald Trump is for saying that. That is horrible. It's more than horrible. It's just, it is It's unbelievable, right? I mean, who says that? Who talks like that? And then you have these fucking maggots who just, you know, just worship the ground he walks on. It's just mind-boggling, and it's just, I'm just shaking my head over and over again. It's, you just shake your head like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Paul Manning says there's a blatant lie about calling soldiers losers in the debate, and Tapper didn't put it back to him. That, for me, was a joke. Pointless, waste of time after that. Yeah, they just let those things, they just let them pass, and they let it go. And I remember yelling at the TV, like, fucking call him out on that shit. Michael McAndrews says, my wife took me to the Goo Goo Dolls concert last night. I thought they were like an all-girl band. I was wrong. They were not bad. You've never heard the Goo Goo Dolls before? They were huge in the 90s. Bonnie Thompson says, Tim Nelson was paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what the guy said. Oh, okay. Fancy, that is a low blow. Yeah, it's just over. Hey, Joey says Fancy's at 30 subs now. So 20 more to go. Michael Manders says Dumpy and his clan buddies are not good people. Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement. They are horrible fucking people. They are the horrible of the horriblest. Robert Perez says the band sings a song called Statue of Liberty by Ecstasy. Good song for today. Serena Monkey says, you do if you are a fucking Nazi called Putin's bitch Trump. Michael Andrews, I sub to Fancy. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for that sub for Fancy. Edge of 47, sure he said it. Moderators in debate should have called him on that thing about Joe's son. He said another toxic thing, but can't remember what it was. Yeah, there was just so much that he said that it kind of all blends in together, you know. Paul Mannion said, as I said, all they've got is hate and intolerance. Yep. Donald Lariat, Robert Perez, love XTC, thank you. Is it ecstasy? XTC? Tim Nelson says, yeah, Bonnie, that's how I heard it, and it pissed me off bad. Roxanne said, afraid everything he said was toxic. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? I mean, I know we're going to vote. We're going to vote for Biden, man, but I mean, we got to just keep pushing the message out there. Now, I was sort of in and out of sleep yesterday when I was listening to Stephanie Miller and Carlos Alazraqui, or whatever the fuck his name is, was on there. I think he was trying to say that Biden should step down, and then some other dude that I've never fucking heard of in my life should be put up. No, fuck you, Carlos. You're an asshole. I never really liked that dude. Ever since a few years ago, he was talking shit about truckers, just because he was upset because truckers made him late to work or whatever. I'm like, fuck you, you motherfucker. You would be fucking naked right now if it weren't for truckers, Carlos Alazraqui. You would be fucking naked. You wouldn't have a fucking microphone in front of your face because truckers bring all that shit to the stores. How do you think that shit gets to the stores, you stupid motherfucker? It's by truckers. So that Carlos Alazraqui, you can go fuck yourself, you motherfucker, and stop calling for Trump for Biden to step down. You're no better than the New York Times, you piece of shit. There, I had to get that out. Because I don't like Carlos, motherfucker. And look, if Joe does step down, of course, and I'm sure most of us Democrats, we're going to vote for whomever the Democrats put up as the nominee. Whether it's Joe, whether it's Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, whatever. Even this unknown motherfucker that this Carlos asshole was talking about. I'm going to vote for whoever the Democrat is, but I don't think Joe needs to step down. We need to just stand behind Joe, support Joe all the way, 100%, and let everyone know that Trump is, not only is he a liar and a sociopath, but he is destroying, literally going to destroy this country. Excuse me. You know, and if anyone needs to step down, it's Donald Trump. It's Donald fucking Trump. He's the one that needs to step down. He's the convicted felon. He's the adjudicated rapist. And he's the one that was a traitor that's been selling out top secret documents to the Russians, to the Saudis. I'm sure of it. And probably North Korea. And probably the Chinese. So it's Donald fucking Trump that needs to step down. See how they always twist it? And they always like reverse it. And it's all about projection. When they say that Biden needs to step down, that's projection. It's really that Trump needs to step down. Because Trump is the one. He's the convicted criminal. He's the criminal. Joe Biden has done nothing wrong. And he was right when he said, I'm the only one standing here that's not a fucking convicted felon. And then they bring up these charges, Jamie Comer and all. They have all these hearings and they have not produced one fucking shred of evidence of any impropriety by Joe Biden. Nothing. Zero. Nada. It's all horse shit. And it's all projection because Trump is the fucking criminal. He's the fucking felon. And he's a fucking traitor. Donald Trump is a fucking traitor. He's a rapist. And he's a traitor. And we need to never, ever forget that. Never fucking forget it. There he is, right there. Trump, the fucking traitor. He needs to be brought up on charges. And he is. And he needs to be thrown in prison the rest of his fucking life. And you don't vote for someone like that. Let alone he being the fucking leader of your party. What the fuck is wrong with you, Republicans? What the fuck is wrong with you? You hate your country so much that you would fucking support a motherfucker like this? Wait, like this? There we go. Do you really? I had a Facebook friend who is kind of an old schoolmate, but he graduated ahead of me, and I don't really know him all that well, but I do know him through Facebook. And a couple months ago, he was in Vegas, and he took a picture from the hotel he was staying at, and he took a picture of the Trump Hotel in Vegas. He could see it from his room. And he was just gushing about how every time he looks at that Trump Tower, and that's not Trump Tower, it's Trump Hotel. But every time he looks at it, it's like, you know, I don't know, I forget the way he worded it, but he gets all excited, apparently. It just warms his soul, warms his heart whenever he would look at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. And of course I had to make some sort of comment about, oh, so you have no problem with this guy being, a rapist and a felon, and you still gush about him. And of course all the right wingers all jumped on me, but whatever. I mean, what is it about Trump that gives these guys such a fucking hard on? That's what I don't get. What is it that's so great about him? I guess he's just sufficiently racist enough for him. I don't know if it's the racism. What is it that they find so appealing about Donald Trump? There's nothing there to like. It's all bluster and bullshit. And all he does is talk about the border. And oh, by the way, we're at a 3-year low of border crossings. So stop with this horseshit about this invasion at the border. And if you Republicans were so concerned about it, then stop hiring undocumented people. The problem is you guys. Go to Mar-a-Lago. How many undocumented workers are working there? They're just fucking total hypocrites. And they don't want to admit that there was a Republican wish list of a border bill that's sitting there ready to be signed. And Trump said nope. Don't bring it up, Mikey Johnson. And there's another one. Mike Johnson's supposed to be this Christian man. How the fuck could you follow and support someone like Donald Trump if you're a really true Christian? How did you fucking do that? So it's not about religion, their religion. It's not about Christianity. It's about their own fucking, their egos. It's about their fucking power trip. It's about keeping their power. They're just all these little egomaniacs. Sort of like it says, Trump full government housing on Snake Island, Slava Ukraine. Michael McAndrews, Trump can wallow in his gold and stink. Donald Larry, who was there? Who was that regarding Trump Hotel? It was one of my Facebook friends. Paul Manning says a unanimous decision by the jury, guilty on all counts. Why would a New York judge give him a break? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but they're still going to sentence him now. It's going to be closer to the election, so maybe it's better. I think it's going to be in September, right? Hey, there's Penny to Create. Don't believe I've ever seen you in here before, so thanks for coming by. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share button for me. It says, as others have said, Trump gives them permission to be their worst selves. Yeah, but I can understand that for a certain group, a certain percentage. But it's like really snowballed into just taking over the whole GOP. It's not just that little 25 to 30 percentile of people that we all know are out there that are just racist and horrible people. You know, they're like the Confederates or whatever. But it's snowballed or mushroomed or however you want to say it to include the entire. They've just taken over the entire party to where it's either capitulate or get primaried. Michael McAndrews, there are people trying to help Dumpy Stump get away with his coup attempt. Yeah. Supreme Court. The Republicans on the Supreme Court. And the Republicans in Congress. Paul Mannion says, where does Mike Johnson keep his money? What a creep. I don't know where he keeps his money. Fancy, he is so shady, Paul. Penny to Create, hi Jolie. Edjo47 says, why did all the dim YouTubers start yesterday out regarding Trump docs being accused of raping 13-year-old at Epstein's? That is all true. They were sealed docs. I don't know why they did that. I guess because it came out. The news of it came out. Keith Lee says, lots of news to process, practice mental health techniques. Yep. Okay, so I got a picture of the traitor up there. I should probably put a picture of Biden. Just to make things, you know, a little equal. Let's see. I guess we could do this one over here. So yeah, we're going to vote for Biden-Harris 4 more years. 4 more years. Let's just get to the election. Let's just vote Biden, get him in. And hey, if Biden croaks, I'm completely fine with Kamala Harris. I think she should make a fine president. You know, it's not like we're handing it off to fucking Gerald Ford. You know, or some Nimrod like Mike Pence. Some, you know, spineless little fucking twerp. So, if God forbid something were to happen to Biden, I think Kamala Harris would be an awesome president. So I'm not worried about that. So, let's get to the finish line here. Let's get to November. Let's vote, vote, vote. Vote blue, no matter who. Let's vote for Joe Biden. Now, I was just wondering, I think Hal's not coming on today at all. He's not doing an afternoon show, as far as I know. That's what he said yesterday. I think he's going to spend, he's back there in Kentucky. He's with his family for the 4th. I guess he's in Kentucky. So there's not going to be a Hal Sparks show today. I was thinking about doing an afternoon show, but if everybody's off doing their, you know, 4th of July celebrating, then should I come on or not? I don't know. You know, I mean, so you guys let me know if I should come on this afternoon. I can come on at 3 Pacific time, which would be 6 o'clock for a lot of you guys back east, and 5 o'clock for the central guys, central time zone. So do you guys want me to come back on, or should we just call it a day and get on with our festivities, whatever we're doing for today? So I guess I kind of let you guys decide if you think I should come on later on. Do a 2 for today. Donald Leary says Mike Johnson's wife didn't sign for a checking account. Yeah, they're like stuck in the 60s or something when women couldn't get their own accounts. They had to have their husbands sign for their whatever checking or for credit cards and stuff, right? Midas Kevin Anderson says, "Give me another cup of Joe." Sort of Megan says, "Oops, I am forgetting to vote today. I'm a conservative. Don't like what they have done, but fucking hate the liberals. It's a different crowd." Yeah, I don't know about English politics, and it might be different over there. Becca McAndrews, I'm a liberal. I love you conservatives. I don't really like labels, but I mean, if I'm going to be labeled, I guess I would be labeled a liberal. I like to be labeled on the issues. You know, I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-green energy. I'm pro Medicare for all or universal health care. I'm pro for taxing the rich. The more you make, the more you should pay. The less you make, the less you should pay. I'm for a good, strong social safety net. So whatever that makes me, some people say I'm a progressive, some people say I'm a liberal, whatever it is. That's why I don't really like labels. I just like to say I'm a Democrat. I'm an American Democrat. Lifelong American Democrat. So I vote blue because it's better than voting red, because the Republicans, they don't give a fuck about 99% of us. Okay? They really don't. And they have to drum up all these little issues and create these crises just to try to drum up support, because there aren't enough of them otherwise. Donald Leary, Trucker John, please do. It's raining here. Sayhow says, if you're poor like me on the 4th, I guess eat a bunch of boiled eggs and wait till dark, get a big lighter and light some farts on fire. Sayhow, you're funny. Robert Perez, I've got nothing to do but babysit all day, so go an extra 3 hours if you can. Roxanne says, I will be at family get-together. Robin M. Either or. Personally, I'll be working outside in the humid heat, working on my installation pieces for an August show. Fancy, I think a lot of people will show up. Robin M., the pillar of democracy, the voting booth. Yes. Get into that voting booth. Monkey, there are no comparisons, to be honest, with UK-US party names. Keith Felice says, celebrate today and use the holiday to recommit ourselves to ensuring a victory in November. Absolutely. Philly 3000, I'm watching 007 movie, No Time to Die. It's on YouTube now. Robert Perez, rather dead than red. Gerald Moraine is here. Hey, Gerald, good to see you. Thank you, Keith Polite. I didn't see you in here earlier, Gerald, so thanks for coming by, stopping by over here in the old Truckers Lounge. Michael McAndrews, I have to weld a lamppost to fix it for a neighbor. Donald Leary, so I guess you can't come into the show. The word liberal means to be free, the quality of state of being free. I've never heard it described that way before. Midas Kevin Anderson, say ha ha ha. Fancy says, I'm going to learn how to put words on videos, but I'll be here later for the show. Michael McAndrews, stay the course. Oops, I mean stay the course. Say says, Philly 2000, is that a new 007? There are so many. And which one was it? No Time to Die. Yeah, I can't keep them straight either. I don't think the latest one I didn't see. I never have seen it. Well, okay, guys. I guess I can pop on at around 3 o'clock Pacific and just see how it goes. And I can wish everybody a happy 4th of July again. And so I think we're going to do that. But we'll take a little break. We've done a couple hours. We've been at this for a couple hours. So maybe we'll take a little break. And then at 3 Pacific time, I'll come back on and see how it goes. All right. So does that sound like a plan? We'll do the thing. Robert Perez says, by the way, Johnny, thank you and all postal workers for your service. I'm a former postal worker, not currently, but Joe Lorraine, I will look. Midas Kevin says, No Time to Die is the most recent. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Wait, yeah, No Time to Die. Oh, that wasn't Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise does the... Did I say Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise does the Mission Impossible. I haven't seen that either, the latest. I haven't seen the latest Mission Impossible. But the latest... so we were talking Bond, right? So Bond... that one there, I'm trying to remember if even like the trailers, I can't remember like the premise of it. But I don't think I've seen that one either. Robin Emmett says, okie dokie, stay hydrated, stay cool, peace, love, rock on. Serena Monkey, you better be drunk and just wearing USA knickers later. Well, I don't want to get too drunk because I'm planning on driving Uber tonight, so. Michael McAndrews, yes, Robin, but it's still a little cool in my new barn up there in northern Michigan. Paul Mannion, the Labor Party is more like the Democrats and the Conservatives are more like the Republicans. Red equal Labor, blue equal Conservative. All right, so say how says see you later, and all that kind of stuff. All right, guys, so thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for these last couple of bits, these couple of hours. And I'll see you guys again at 3. I'll pop in at 3 and see how it goes. We'll do a little afternoon show because I'm pretty sure Hal's not going to be on today. So, but if he is, then I won't come on. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to be on. He said he wasn't going to come on. And he might not even be on tomorrow. So who knows? I might even do a surprise show tomorrow morning. If you guys, I feel like we need a place to hang out. We need a place to air our grievances and vent a little bit. But anyhow, 3 o'clock today, my time, Pacific time. Adjust accordingly to your whatever time zone you're in. And guys, thanks for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the show. Let's keep on growing. We're at 1,880 something subscribers. Before you know it, we'll be at 2,000. That'd be awesome. So let's keep growing the show. And let's see, what else can I say in closing? Just happy birthday, America. And vote blue no matter who. We got to flush that big orange turd down the turlet. And let's be done with him. Let's send him off into obscurity. Because I'm sick and tired of the guy. I really am. So anyhow, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some stretching because I don't want to pull a hammy. You know what I mean? And I might have a beer or two. I don't know. But anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you in a few hours at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kill. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on to glad. So hasta la vista, baby, the show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and